The Sea Star.
Starring Fayola,
And Julio Rodriguez. The domain is Eukarya. The kingdom is Animalia. The phylum is Echinodermata. The class is Asteroida. There are many orders within a class, many families within the orders, and many genuses within a family. And there are over 2,000 living species.
The word sea refers to the ocean, and of course, the word star refers to the animal's shape. Sea stars practice pentamerism, or pentaradial symmetry, as adults. Evolutionary ancestors of echinoderms are believed to have bilateral symmetry and express bilateral symmetry in larval form. Sea stars usually have 5 rays which radiate from a central disk. Some species have 6 or more and up to 50 arms. Their bodies are composed of calcium carbonate components called ocelles, and they form the endoskeleton. The endoskeleton, which can take on a variety of forms, are externally expressed in a variety of structures, such as spines and granules. The individual structures are dependent upon the different locations that cause the sea star to adapt. Their structures vary by taxon, and their mouths are on the bottom or soft side of their body. The sea star possesses a hydraulic water vascular system that aids in locomotion. The water vascular system has many projections called tube feet on the ventral face of the sea star's arms, which function in locomotion and aid with feeding. Tube feet emerge through openings in the endoskeleton and are externally exposed through the open grooves present along the bottom of each arm. The body cavity not only contains the water vascular system, but the circulatory system, called the hemal system. Hemal channels form rings around the mouth, or the oral hemal ring, and a portion of the body cavity called the axial sinus connects the rings. Each ray also has hemal channels running next to the gonads. On the end of each arm or ray, there's a microscopic eye, or the ocellus, which allows it to see light and dark. It's also very useful in seeing movement. Only part of the cells are pigmented in a red or a black color, and there is no cornea or iris. This eye is known as the pigmented spot ocellus. Some sea stars reproduce sexually and some reproduce asexually. Most species have both male and female individuals, but some are hermaphrodites. Some are born male and turn into females. Most are not distinguishable from the outside, but you can tell what they are during spawning. Each arm contains 2 gonads that release gametes through openings called gonaducts located at the central body between the arms. Fertilization and free spawning takes place externally when both males and females release their gametes and the two combine. Some brood their eggs by sitting on them or by making special nests. Some lose an arm, which then turns into an individual sea star, using fragmentation, but that can only happen if part of the central disk is also dislocated. Stars born from fragmentation usually skip the larval phase and go straight to being mini starfish.
There are around 2,000 known living species of sea stars, and they occur in all of the Earth's oceans. The greatest variety of sea stars is found in the tropical Indo-Pacific. Other areas known for their great diversity include the tropical temperate waters around Australia, the East Pacific, and the cold temperate waters of the North Pacific. Habitats range from tropical reefs, kelp forests, to deep sea floor. All species of sea star found are living as benthos, which are organisms that live on, in, or near the seabed. Within their habitat, starfish are predators. They are carnivores that eat clams, mussels, oysters, and even small fish. Some species also eat sponges and coral polyps. They are also food for other sea animals.
Sea stars have a mouth on the underside, which opens through a short esophagus into a first cardiac stomach and a second pyloric stomach. Each arm has 2 pyloric cassia, long hollow tubes branching outwards from their second stomach. Their cassia are lined by digestive glands which secrete digestive enzymes and absorb nutrients from the food. They have a short intestine that runs from the upper surface of the pyloric stomach to open in the anus in the center of their upper body. Some swallow their prey whole, and because of their systems, they can digest food that's a lot larger than their bodies. Most sea stars have a complex nervous system, but lack a true centralized brain. They have a network of interlacing nerves called a nerve plexus. Their esophagus is surrounded by a central nerve ring, which sends radial nerves into each arm, often parallel with the branches of the water vascular system. This coordinates the sea star's balance. Its sensory inputs are sensitive to touch, light, temperature, and orientation, as well as the status of the water around them. Their tube feet are sensitive to odors and chemicals, which help them find food.
The first universally accepted echinoderms appear in the Lower Cambrian period. They left behind an extensive fossil record. Despite this, there are numerous conflicting hypotheses about their development. The more traditional view is that the first echinoderms were sessile, or immobile. They then became radial as an adaptation, then gave rise to free-moving groups.
The end!